The fact that you have clicked on this video and the title as well as the thumbnail resonated with you tells me that you want, and there is a high likelihood that you're either interested in just, scaling your AI agency, maybe you're an AI developer and you do want to make some money with AI. And perhaps you also struggle with working. You perhaps struggle with actually getting things done. Perhaps you procrastinate, perhaps you feel like you're literally moving up the hill 24/7 and you don't know why it's so hard to get things done. You know you should be doing them, but you don't do them, or you delay doing them, or you don't do enough of them. If that's you, my dear friend, I'm gonna help you with this video because I was also, I mean, look, I'm not perfect. I'm also struggling with the same thing, and I'm also dealing with procrastination. I'm also dealing with, I'm just lowering my desk, by the way, don't worry. I'm also dealing with just procrastination, not wanting to work, feeling that the last thing on earth I want to do is reach out to my industry or talk to my business partner and improve our AI service and improve our onboarding and just like improve the product, improve the automation, just do all of those things. Don't get me wrong, I also don't I also do not want to feel like do it sometimes. And more often than not, I probably for 80% of the time do not want to do it. And I'm gonna tell you why I believe, like what is the cause and what we can do about it, right? Because obviously I'm, just perhaps further or a slightly further ahead than you are in the AI journey, but I want to help you, and but I want to help you in a way where I'll just show you what I have done and what helped me to actually deal with something. And as the topic of this video says, obviously today we are going to talk about actually like just getting things done with your AI agency. So let's just start with some fundamentals. Obviously, probably your motivation. I mean, unless we have some very unique unicorn startup founders who want to build another, Facebook. But most of the audience probably has some sort of a motivation to just pretty much be here, take the journey of AI, and end up probably another like version X of their character. Maybe, I mean, that's a byproduct, with some money, right? Like probably most of my audience and most of the people in the AI agency space, they just want to make money from the AI agency, and they just want to pretty much go from A to B and make money. And as we obviously know, this is like the journey, and it's going to take time. It's unfortunately not going to happen overnight, and there is a lot of time involved between going from this version to this version. And here's the thing. Like throughout this journey, there is a lot of things you need to do. You need to like do outreach, right? You need to like create your offer. You need to actually learn AI. You need to learn how to build AI. You need to learn how to deliver, right? You need to learn how to deliver. Perhaps you also need to get some basic understanding of the law because you don't want to break any laws. Perhaps you don't like want to also learn basic operations, so ops. Perhaps you also need to like learn some taxes, so basis taxes. Maybe you need to learn like some like on and on and on, right? The point is you need to learn and do a lot of things in order to get there, right? Like you're not just going to out of nowhere just snap your fingers and get money in the bank, right? Like you have to create value to the market, and that involves a lot of fucking work, and that involves a lot of like things you need to learn, things you need to understand, like some abstract concept that you need to grasp and push yourself for pain and just do the things, right? Because outreach is not nice. Building an offer is not nice. Learning maybe some for some people is, but for some it's definitely learning the law so you're legally operating is not also very fun. Learning operations is also not very pleasant. Delivering the automations, especially if things are not going as planned and having nightmare clients is also not great. And understanding the taxes and everything and speaking to your accountants, like it's just very fucking hard and painful. The entire journey, there's a lot of things you need to discover. I mean, they're hard, but you can go for them and actually achieve it. But that's not the point of this video. But if you, for example, know that there is a like you want to go for this transformation, and you have decided, you have some reason that like that is pretty much pushing you to actually go there and achieve that. But if you feel like there is some sort of like weird force that like it's just holding you back, and even though let's say you just wake up, right? Let's say it's like just like I don't know, 7 in the morning, right? And you wake up and you see like a lot of tasks that you need to get done, right? And you see that, and you're like, all right, let me just get it done. But then you procrastinate, then you do them later, or you don't do them, and then you like at the end of the day, let's say it's like I don't know, 11 p.m., right? You sit and you look at this task and maybe you did like only 20%, and you think to yourself, why did I not do it? Like, I want to do it. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but I want to do it. Why am I not doing that? And the thing is, as we already discovered, you need to pretty much do things. Like, you need to learn and do things. You need to acquire information, change your behavior accordingly, and do a lot of inputs in form of outreach, acquiring clients, speaking to clients, just a lot of work. So we need to learn and do work, right? And here's the thing. If you, let's say, been for the past couple of years, let's say, I don't know, and this is a question everyone needs to answer. How was your past, like, let's say, 1, 2, 3 years, right? How was your past 1 to 3 years? Like, were you working hard the past 1 to 3 years? Were you like always disciplined? Were you always, or maybe were you procrastinating? And if the answer to that question is going to be, well, it was not really that positive, I would say it's quite negative. I was procrastinating a lot. I was just like, not only I was procrastinating, I was also just pushing things to, or I was avoiding things. Like I was just stuck doing a lot of things that are not going to help me in the current journey because as we already established, you need to do a lot of things, you need to understand a lot of things and get things done. But if for the past couple of years you've been like slacking and not maybe doing much, the thing is, what we know from a lot of fields such as psychology, neurology, and other like more like coaching sort of mindset fields, is that every single situation, like every single experience, is crafting, if it's for, is like stacking and forming beliefs in your head, right? So that's a very evolutionary example. If you were in your tribe and your mates went out hunting and I don't know, they've seen a lion and they tried to go and pet the lion and then the lion ate them and you've seen that for 4 times, you're going to craft a belief that lions are bad, do not approach. Very evolutionary mechanisms in our brain in order to make like help us survive. So then if you're going to see a lion, you're going to be like, oh shit, let me get out of here, right? Very basic mechanisms. And what does that have to do with the agency? So look, and you're trying to pursue the success in the industry. Look, if the reason I was asking you, if for the past 1 to 3 years, if you've been like actually doing the work and like doing things that are necessary or doing the things in a way that that are required to be done right now, which is like discipline, focus, and all those other traits we all know. Um, because if you haven't been doing them, they were compounding. So they were stacking beliefs in your head about your own self that you do not like work on time. You do not get things done. You're not a focused person. Because look, if you've been ask yourself a couple of questions. Because obviously we are going to. I think the most important thing would be just a couple of words: speed, focus, discipline. And also, I would say, yeah, I mean, those are your most important things: speed, focus, discipline, and doing the right thing, right? Doing the right. I'm going to explain why I'm writing that. Doing the right thing. I'm going to explain why I'm writing those things. So look, those are probably the most important thing. I think we would all mutually agree that if you're going to very quickly, with high discipline, with high focus, do what actually matters, and don't, like we all know what to do. If you're going to actually do those things, you will actually progress. So ask yourself, in the past 1 to 3 years, were you always doing things quickly, and were you solidifying the identity and like creating experiences for your own like subconscious mind that you're moving quickly, or were you procrastinating? Were you maybe like multitasking, listening to music, scrolling things, and just switching from task to task in the past couple of years, or were you every single thing that you started to do was focused? Like answer the question for yourself. In the past 1 to 2 years, 3 years, also, were you like disciplined across all areas of your life? Perhaps you were. I mean, if you were, you probably would not be watching the video. But if you, for the past couple of years, were just acting slowly, undistracted, multitasking, not disciplining yourself, and coping yourself and procrastinating and not doing the things that you know you need to be doing, then what you have been effectively doing is creating experiences that were stacking up beliefs, like the experiences that will solidifying more in depth, the belief in your brain about your own, like about yourself, that you are moving slowly, that you're not a focused person, that you're not a disciplined person, and you avoid things that are actually that you actually need to get done. And they may be subconscious, but answer those couple of questions. Like, do you actually believe you could be like very focused and get things done and actually work hard? Do you actually believe you could move quickly? Do you actually believe you're always doing the right thing and doing what is necessary and not what you want to do? And perhaps if there is like a slight doubt in your mind, that is the sign that your subconscious has formed a belief that you cannot do that. And the reason you have formed a belief is cause and effect. It's not some magic. You've been just proving to yourself subconsciously for many, many years that you are like not doing the like you don't carry the traits that are necessary to build like the AI agency, right? So the thing is, we need to reverse that because obviously I'm not I want to pinpoint you to the potential problem and the potential cause. Obviously there are more like there are deeper psychological reasons sometimes, and the entire shadow work and the entire like part of the entire Jungian concept of the shadow. But that's I have no clue how to explain that. I barely understand it myself, so I'm not going to speak on the things that I don't understand. However, I don't want to just pinpoint to the problem and tell you, look, you have a problem and just walk away. I also want to give you a solution. So, I mean, solution. The thing is, first of all, you need to understand that it's not going to happen like that overnight because you've been like solidifying and compounding the identity for a long time. However, that doesn't mean we cannot see rapid change. And there is also the thing that I realized, which is something like a flywheel in your identity shifting. But I'm going to explain that in just a second. So look, as we've already established, in order to get your agency from A to B and achieve your goals, you need to do a lot of things. And in order to do those things, you need to work quickly, work focused, be disciplined, and do the right things. And if you've been not acting out with the traits, characteristic traits that are needed to do those things in the past couple of years because maybe you're not into business, you have effectively built an identity around like not acting out those things that you need to act out. So what can we do about it? So obviously, reverse engineering that, if an experience gave us negative like belief in ourselves, what we simply need to do is reverse that and flip the table, and we need to stack up a lot of positive beliefs, a lot of positive experiences that will give us positive beliefs about ourselves, so we can actually get the work done. And here's how we're going to do it. So look, there are two ways you can do it. You can actually like do it, or you can imagine it. So you can actually do or see it in your brain, right? So there are like two ways. You can either do it or you can see it in your mind. Because here's the thing, our brain does not really tell the difference between what is real and what is not. There are countless studies. There you can go and research the studies. From for example, I don't remember the exact name of the study, but there was a study done in university where they asked people like they asked students to visualize that their eyes like their hand is covered in ice, and they measured their temperature actually decreasing. You can all go and research the study. What I also seen, like I was reading this one book, I also remember there was a study where there was this guy locked up in jail, and he was in mind because he didn't want it to go, crazy because he was by himself in the prison. He was visualizing playing golf, and then he went out of the like he entered like he exited the jail after some time, and he actually improved in golf. So that's just showing that our brain does not really tell the difference between imaginary situation and like actual situation. Also, we can think about dreams, right? You don't really, you're not in a dream, but your body is responding. Like, if, for example, if you had a nightmare, you can wake up and sweat, your heart is pumping fast, so your body is physically reacting as if that were to be true. So we can use that and reverse like engineer the process by pretty much creating imaginary experiences that are creating the identity of the person that we need to become in order to scale the agency. And then that is going to help us to actually do the things. And those things are going to create even a stronger identity. And that's going to make our visualization even easier. And then we're going to just create a flywheel because the more if you just push the ball of the hill, it's going to automatically start to roll, and you're going to have a snowball effect because if you will cement the identity, let's say you struggle with being focused, and you're going to visualize, which I'm going to explain in just a second, that you're a focused person, and then you're going to finally start to be focused, and you're going to think to yourself, oh shit, I'm actually becoming focused, and your identity will start to shift that you're a focused person, and the next time it's going to be easier to be focused because you'll perceive yourself as a person that is focused, and this is just going to it's going to be a feedback loop because the more the more the more times you actually do it, the more you will believe, right? The stronger the belief, the more you do, the more you do, the stronger the belief. So if we start to reverse engineer, because I don't want to leave you with this like very negative and very like, yeah, be patient, it's gonna take 5 years. I don't believe it's gonna take that long. I believe you can see massive difference in a couple of weeks because if you genuinely impact your beliefs and you're gonna start to act them out, and then you're gonna even have a stronger belief, and you're going to add more fuel into those beliefs by visualizing them, and actually you're going to start to do it. Excuse me, you're actually going to properly start to kick off this flywheel, and you will change your identity to the person that actually is doing the right things and is actually properly scaling the agency. So how to do it? Because I want to actually give you some actionable steps as to how to combat it. Just it comes down to one word, and that's traits. So what you need to do is you need to list out the traits that you need to have, characteristic traits or behavioral traits that you need to actually have in order to scale your agency. And probably most of you know, you just need to be like the here would be discipline, right? Um, focus. Okay, this pen is probably gonna lose its job soon. Here you would have focus. This pen is annoying me. You would here have, I would also say reason. And what I mean by reason is just actually doing the things that you need to do and not what you want to do. Also, speed, so you're doing things quickly. If you just, in general, if you're a focused person, if you're a disciplined person, you act out with reason, so you do what you need to do. You act out quickly, and also probably long work hours. Because if you don't work, not even if you're discipline focused and you do what you need to do and you do it quickly, but you work for like an hour a day, you're not gonna make much progress. So if you probably and like embody a trait of being a disciplined person, of being a focused person, I'm just gonna circle that. If you're gonna be a disciplined person, a focused person, a person that is acting out of reason, that is acting quickly, and that is longing for long, working for long hours, that will very, very much help you because if you genuinely believe about yourself to be disciplined, focused, acting out with reason quickly, and working for many hours, you would very, very quickly achieve your goal. Like you'd get to money very, very quickly. So I'm gonna draw this dollar sign because we're all motivated by the money to a large extent. So I'm just gonna draw the dollar signs to remind you about what you're striving after, striving for. So look, how you do it is literally take out the piece of paper. I don't have mine around here. It's probably I don't know where it is. I would have shown you, but I cannot locate it as I don't know where it is. However, what you do is you literally, it's very simple. You take out a piece of paper and you write statements about your own identity, right? And it's gonna be slightly cringe. I know, Gen Z, brace for impact. But it's actually going to be very effective in those slightly cringe, and it's gonna sound a bit like woo wow, but it actually works. And what you want to do is just do it for like 15 minutes, like twice a day, right? So twice a day is going to be like an exercise that's going to reverse the bad identity you have built around past couple of years. So what you need to do is you need to write statements. So what I mean by statements is if you know that you need to have the trait of being a disciplined person, literally write down here a statement that like a sentence that says that states I'm a disciplined person. I always do what I need to get done, no matter how I feel. Right? Like write out a statement, and do that for every single trait that you need to possess. Focus. So you'd write down, I'm a very focused person. Nothing distracts me. I divide my full cognitive attention to the task that is in front of me, and I do not stop until it's completed. Then you go and you, let's say, act out reason. So here you could write another statement. And if you're obviously, I'm just giving some examples, but there are other traits like educating a lot, being humble, like most important traits that you need to embody in your mind to actually become the person that you need to become, which is just discipline, focus, reason, speed, working long hours, education, being humble, and all of the other traits. But I think you can even use Claude, to be fair, to give you the most important traits. Or you can even, if you were to be really creative, you can go and, I mean, it's not really that creative, but you can go to Claude and you can just prompt it to research you the most important traits that all successful people like billionaires carry and then actually embody them. So you state, like, for example, that you're a reasonable person and you explain, like, you state in the fact that I always do what needs to be done and not what I feel like doing because I always use reason and I'm a reasonable person and I do what I need to get done. And same for speed. You could say here, I always move quickly. I cut deadlines and I move as quickly as possible, and nothing can stop me. I'm just very quickly. And it's going to be slightly cringe, but then what you do is for 15 minutes, twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, what you do is you read this statement, you shut down your eyes, and you try to imagine a situation. I'm going to give you an example, and we're going to end the video because it's already too long, almost 20 minutes. So what you do is you shut your eyes, and in your mind, you visualize yourself acting out this trait. So if you, let's say, you're reading the statement of I'm a disciplined person, what you do is You shut down your eyes, and let's say you visualize yourself having some big task in front of you. Let's say like a 4 hour work window where you have to, I don't know, review 3 sales calls for your team, or you have to build out the automation for the client, or you have to do 200 cold calls. Like just work that you need to get on, and you need to imagine the state in your mind where you, like as usually you have, you don't want to do it or whatever you're struggling with, and literally imagine yourself reminding yourself, this is not me. I'm a disciplined person. This is out of alignment with my identity. I'm going to do it anyway. And visualize yourself actually going and doing it. And do that for every single trade. Just go, linearly, trade by trade, and visualize them. And let your subconscious cook. I'm gonna end this video with that. You'll observe the results yourself. So just yeah, do this exercise. Hopefully I have addressed the problem, what may be causing it, and this is my hypothesis. This is what I'm doing, and probably, hopefully, it's going to help you. So if you're struggling with not doing the work in your AI agency, just do it, and yeah, let your subconscious mind cook and act out your new identity, and hopefully, scale your agency. Hopefully that helps. Take care.